What in the 20s is going
in the
on?
20s,
Think about
yeah.
the 20s.
What
Baby,
plenty.
What in the 20s is
I
going
am
on?
here for my 20s, baby.
This is the 20s.
Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Zama Mkize, and this is What's in the 20s, a podcast where you listen to me grow through its baby. On this episode, we're going to be speaking about clapping for others. Oh, clapping for others, clapping for others, clapping for others. I think that people are becoming a little bit more reserved with their applause. They're becoming a little more, they're gatekeeping their joy that they're meant to be sharing with other people. And I don't know what's going on. Is it because we feel like we're competing with people? Do we feel like, but it's fine. You know what? Let's just get into it. You know, when you see someone doing well, when you see someone doing good, when you see somebody achieving, you know, don't just observe. Don't just observe. Don't just look. Don't just, don't just take note, when they say noted. But actually congratulate, actually celebrate, actually be excited. Like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is great. Even when you're watching on someone's story, someone just like something great has happened for them and stuff. Like, actually make the effort to be like, wow, I'm proud of you. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is great. This is honestly such an amazing effort and all the rest. You know what I'm saying? I think we don't need to be so stingy with our claps and stuff like that. Like, it's so great, to achieve something, to achieve anything. It really it really takes a lot of work. It really takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. You don't know what someone went through to put in and how much they put in, to get to this thing. Even if you feel like whatever they got is insignificant or whatever it is, if this is someone you love and care about and stuff, I think we really should get into the culture and the mindset of being happy for people, of being excited for people, of looking forward to what people have going on and being like, wow, I love this for you. I think that we shouldn't let our desire for the fact that they have something that we want hold us back from acknowledging that they have done a great job. Just because someone may have won the competition that you tried out for and stuff, don't let the fact that they got it hold you back from letting them know that you see that, like, wow, what a great effort that you've put in and all the rest. Don't let it turn you into something you're not. Genuinely be pleased with the work that they're doing, because I think there are a lot of problems that can come out of not, out of not doing those things. I think that it can start stirring an energy of jealousy and being envious if we are unable to clap for others. I think we will start looking at what they have and what they do with a very dark energy of like, oh, if only I could be them, if only I had what they had, if only I could be in the spaces that they're in. And you start feeling bitter and resentful and just so jealous about their lifestyle or about their achievements and all the rest, that it will make you lose focus. When you're so caught up being jealous, you engage in habits like gossip, right? And you want to just throw out all the negative stuff that they've got going on in their lives. All the things that are not working out for them, all the things that didn't come out so 100% or the way that they may look or whatever it is. You will lose focus on what you've got going on, what you're meant to be pursuing, the direction that you're meant to be taking, the course, you know what I'm saying? Because you're so busy focused on trying to bring down the other person. You're so busy focused on carrying all the energy you're meant into getting yourself where you need to be, into making somebody else look bad, making someone else look like they didn't deserve what they have, making somebody else look like they're an industry plant. Look like they have connections, like they have this or they did this and it's unfair and da 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 da. And we become so dark and mean spirited around certain people because we're unable to clap, we're unable to be excited. And I think when we get into doing this for so long, we have a way, and Gugu mentioned it in our episode together, that we unintentionally have a way of discrediting what they achieve, discrediting all the good that they've put in, discrediting their efforts, discrediting the journey they took to get there. There's a way that all that gossip, all that jealousy, all that envy and stuff will build inside of you that will make it seem like what they have wasn't built on merit. What they have wasn't built on what they actually had to show for. It wasn't built on effort. It wasn't built on consistency. It wasn't built on, and we will come up with so many reasons as to why we feel like we are better than them, why we feel like it shouldn't be them. Why do they have it? Why, God, did you respond to their prayer, not mine? Why is it them? Why? It'll leave you feeling, it's honestly like a mental disease, because the longer you dwell in it, the more you're going to keep believing that the world is against you. The more you're going to keep thinking that everyone is against you, that no matter how much of your efforts you keep putting in, for some reason, there's no way that you win. There's no way that you shine. There's no way that this thing that you want can be granted to you. And I think that when you discredit people, it's a very nasty energy you're putting out there, because you're making it seem like they're less, whatever they've done is less than, whatever they've done is inadequate, whatever they've done is not good enough, whatever they've done is undeserving. You start even creating rumors. You start even suspecting them of things. When you you start thinking that they must have done this and this and this, they must have connected with this person and did this thing. You start speculating, so many things that are not even true, or who knows? You don't know. That's for damn sure. You don't know, but you're going to speculate anyways, right? And have all these allegations and stuff that, because they're seen around these people, that's why they get the opportunities. Because they're in this relationship with this person, that's why this is happening for them. Because they are doing this and they're doing that, and that's the shortcuts they're taking. That's the this and this and this. And we have a way of making it seem like, it must be a fake. It must be fraud. It must be this. They must be scamming. They must be, there's all these things that we will tell us. And the truth is, we don't know. You could be right, you could be wrong, but you don't know. The point is, it is knocking you off focus. The point is, it is derailing you, because everything all the brain power that you're supposed to be putting into improving yourself, into making your path better, into just developing the thing that you've got going on, is spent on looking at somebody else and bringing them down. And it will, in the end, make you lose confidence. Make you lose confidence in this thing that you're doing. Making you lose confidence in yourself, your ability to achieve things, your ability to, you feel like you don't even want to participate if this person is going to participate because they're the teacher's pet, they're the parent's favorite, they're the this and that, the crowd loves them, the this and this and this, and you lose confidence in your own abilities to achieve, your own abilities to excel, your own abilities to actually be successful in this thing, because you think that if this person is involved, then there's no way that you're going to be seen. There's no way you're going to be chosen. There's no way you're going to be considered. I think if you go on this path for long enough, you will lose so much confidence that even this dream you're setting out to do, this plan that you have made, this business you want to start or whatever, losing that confidence will make you not even start. It will make you not continue. You will not see any light at the end of the tunnel. You will not believe that there is an other side to this, that there is joy available to you, that there is success, that there is a win available to you, because you're so focused on believing that like it is for everybody else but you, or it is for this person that has it, this person that has these connections and stuff like that. I'm thinking even, when I came to Joburg a few years ago, I was so nervous because I I didn't know anyone, in the industry. I didn't know where to begin. I didn't know how to even put myself out there. I kind of felt like this sucks, like I just felt so stressed out because I wouldn't even know where to begin trying to get my foot in the door, trying to be seen, trying to be validated, trying to let people know that I have this burning dream and desire within me and I need help getting there. And how I kind of just began was just posting my work online, and hoping that whoever is meant to see it, whoever is meant to hear me will. And that is truly what happened for me. I had no way of knowing how to speak to anyone. I suck at networking. I suck at just marketing myself sometimes. It's something I'm still learning how to do. It's something I'm still learning how to get in the practice of and all the rest. And because of that, it slowed me down, from really putting myself out there and saying my name in certain spaces and stuff like that, because I'm still like so shy and all the rest in terms of like, how do I even do it and but I think that if I let that comparison of seeing what other people were doing and how much they were achieving and stuff like that, if I let that kind of get to me, I would have never put my work out there in the first place. I would have never tried at podcasting in the first place. I was so terrible at podcasting. I was so bad at it when I started out and stuff like that, when I was listening in comparison to what other people are doing. And I was comparing where someone is 10 years in their journey to my first year, my first week of doing it. I was comparing where someone is so far ahead of experience of doing something, to my first day. And thinking, well, I guess I'm just not good enough. And I feel like it's that confidence that you have to keep maintaining to believe that if I just keep going, if I just keep persisting, if I just keep being determined and stuff, let me see what could happen. What are the odds that it could work in my favor? What are, if you just, what if something special happens? What if a miracle happens? What if the right person views me? And I remember even just that one day receiving that like email from Spotify, just wanting to work with me. It was Greasy Tunes 2 years ago. And I remember feeling so shocked. Like, how did they even know? How do they even know who I am? How do they even know what my email is and all the rest? And that's the thing. You'll be so shocked because like you need to stop putting your focus on what other people are doing. And I was so small, I felt so small in comparison to so many people. And I just to still be seen anyways. And that's what I'm saying is like, you need to get into the habit of believing in yourself anyways, of trusting yourself anyways, and supporting others anyways. And I think that if you don't, you will be mad at the world. You will be so upset at life. And you will feel so rejected by the world before the world even has the opportunity to do that, because you're constantly thinking that this isn't for you. There were moments where I felt like things were rigged, because it didn't matter how much I was putting out, how much effort or whatever it is, it still felt like, why is it not my time yet? Why is it not my season yet? What is going on? I know that we can feel like that sometimes. I know that we can feel like things are not working in our favor, like we are not being kind of profiled or whatever. Our dreams aren't being heard, we're not being seen or understood and stuff, and it feels very frustrating. I think it can feel even more frustrating when the people around you are seemingly getting their prayers answered, are seemingly getting more and more confident in their walk, in their journey, in their pursuits, in their career, they're obtaining things and stuff. I think it can feel a little bit scarier when we reflect that to ourselves and think, what is going on. And that leads me into a scarcity mindset, the topic of a scarcity mindset. This idea that there is not enough success to go around. There's not enough good to go around. There's not enough opportunities to go around. I think that when we start feeling scared, when we start feeling jealous, when we start feeling envy and all the rest, we start operating from a place of deficit, right? From a place of lack, from a place of less than. And the problem with the scarcity mindset and believing that there's not enough to go around is that we start gatekeeping. We start gatekeeping information, right? That was one thing that I found so bizarre. Is I never know in the beginning, never knew how much I should be charging for the work that I do because there's not enough information on how much freelancers should be charging for the value they provide, for the work that is out there. People are so afraid to speak up and say, this is, how much I'm earning and this, and this. Like, I feel like there's a lot of sensitivity when it comes to money, right? We've kind of trained ourselves. I don't know, especially, I might take it a step further, but I think it's, you know what? Never mind. But because I'm going to start going on a tangent. But there is this fear of discussing money. I remember a friend of mine speaking to me about this like 2 years ago. They're like, yeah, a lot of, it seems to be very, I can't really, let me just speak on my experience, right? But it seems to be such a big thing in Black community, right? To kind of not speak about money, and I think that we feel like it's insensitive or it's this or it's that. But the problem with that is that we never know how much we actually deserve, right? We never know how much we're actually valued at. Is because we're constantly keeping things private. And because of that, it's actually holding us back a long way, to not know what other people who are doing the same work as you are doing are earning and stuff, because you don't know how much you should be asking for, how much you should be putting yourself out for. You don't even know where to like base yourself and stuff. And because you become so envious of the next person and stuff, you start feeling like you need to gatekeep that information because you don't want other people earning as much. You don't want other people receiving as much, getting through the door, getting through the gate, having those opportunities, having access, right? And I think that is the problem right there with not being able to clap for others is and having a scarcity mindset is that we will withhold information that I think is so valuable and it becomes such a detriment to you. It starts holding you back in your career, holding you back in the pursuits you may have, because you actually have no idea what is fair for you to demand, what is fair for you to ask for, what is fair for you to, what you're actually entitled to. And, even outside of money and all the rest, you don't know what is considered as unfair and stuff like, we don't speak up enough, I think, as people, just in terms of what you should be allowed to say. We don't ask. We don't we don't do all of these things because we feel like there's only this much available, and only, you only want to be the one that gets it. You want to be the only one that gets to have it, the only one that gets to experience it, when there's actually so much that can be distributed. It exists and it's readily available only if we just started speaking more, sharing more. And the thing is, I think a lot of organizations and all the rest are banking on you not knowing. A lot of companies and all the rest are banking on you not having that information, on you not knowing that you can get through the door by doing this, by asking for this, by saying this, by speaking. We don't know who to speak to. That's another thing about lack of information. We have no idea who it is we're meant to be approaching about certain things, about certain jobs that we may want, about certain pursuits that we may have and all the rest. We don't know because we don't share that information. We don't talk to people about how to have access to certain environments and spaces and resources, right? That's the biggest problem we're facing, is these resources that are available that we do not have access to because people aren't sharing how to do that, where to go, why, when, who, and these are such important questions that you will find that it isn't, it really sucks that we feel like we should get into the spirit of being conservative, into the spirit of being private, into the spirit of just holding things back, being reserved about things. I think if anything, it's posing more of a detriment, because the thing about a scarcity mindset, right? The thing about being so frugal with things like your own money, frugal about things with opportunities and stuff, is that we end up more can't find us, if I'm making sense. Abundance can't find us because we're holding on to the little, that we don't even see the bigger that's available, the grander that's available, the bigger opportunities, the bigger kind of material things, the bigger plan, the bigger picture, the bigger goal, the bigger purpose. We don't see that because we're holding on so tightly to the little things that we can't share. We can't this, we can't that. And this is, like I said, it's a mindset. It's such a problem that you will end up even sabotaging. You will sabotage not only other people, but you will sabotage yourself. I'm being so real. You don't know the lengths you're willing to go to make sure that you're the one that succeeds, right? Because you're so unable to clap for others that you will sabotage what they've got going on. You will, and that's also what gatekeeping does, withholding information, omitting information does, is be sabotaging other people's chances. Right. And in that, we also pose this detriment to ourselves. When we're being so frugal, so this and that, whatever, we're sabotaging our own potential of doing more, of being more, of learning more, of having access to more. And I think that's honestly such a problem. If you can't tap out of that, I honestly suggest you learn how to be more open, how to share more, how to give more, how to allow for more. Because that's what's we're blocking. We're posing a block, is that we were not allowing for more things to find us, for more things to reach us, for more things to want us, because we're so busy being bitter. We're so busy being, secretive, that nobody even wants to share things with you. Nobody even wants to tell you things. Nobody even wants to invest in you, and very little becomes available to you. Very little. You'll start wondering why is less and less happening for me, because you're not doing more to shout out others. You're not doing more to support others. You're not doing more to uplift others, to grow this thing that you're doing, to welcome other people on the journey. There's a lot more we can do when we start realizing how we can grow as a community, grow as a people, grow as an industry, and all of that kind of stuff, instead of always trying to withhold. It's honestly a detriment. And I think that when you learn that clapping for others actually motivates you, seeing all the things that are happening for them, it's actually exciting. It's actually like, wow, I want to work even harder so that I can obtain that too. I want to now find the gap. I want to be the person that finds the difference. I want to be the person that you know what I'm saying? It motivates you to really, it should, instead of seeing it as something that should hinder you, see it as something that should push you even forward, make you want to do it even more. And there's this thing that I heard about, you should clap for others because it shows that there's God in the room. It shows that God is working, like God is moving and stuff like that. When the people around you are like achieving and all of that kind of stuff, it should make you so excited, like, oh, okay, all right. So it's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. That is the biggest thing, right? Being able to see that it is possible. The problem with not seeing things that are possible is that it will demotivate you and make you feel like you cannot dream that big. But when you're seeing things happen for people, now you're seeing that the possibility of things happening is available. And it can be available to you too. I think that it opens up more opportunities. It opens up more ways of thinking. When you cheer, when you cheer for others, life cheers for you. And you will realize that the more joy you have to share out, you'll realize that it just exists in surplus, in abundance, that there's no end to the ways that you're willing to be happy for what's going on in people's lives. There's no end to the ways that you're willing to be joyful, the way that you're willing to be excited. And I think really take hold in that, really take truth in that clapping for others is actually a reward for you. And that's really what I wanted to speak about today. Get excited about people, get excited about what's going on, not just in the lives of yourself and the lives of others, because of the way that it can propel everybody, the way it can propel the culture, the way it can propel the things that you're trying to do. It's really an exciting time to just be happy, instead of thinking that we need to be bitter and resentful all the time. And I really hope that this, speaks to you and reaches the right part of you, and recognizing that your time will come and you will want people to be excited and happy for you too when that comes. As always, I'm sending my love. Goodbye.
What in the 20s is going
In the
on?
20s,
Think about
yes.
the
The
20s.
20s,
What
baby.
in the 20s?
Plenty.
What in the 20s is
I
going
am
on?
here for my 20s, baby.
This is the 20s.